All right, guys, we're gonna go over how to use this. We're excited to have the Rockwoods. These are some of the best RVs out there. Best, great little camper. Right here is your tongue jack. It's got two buttons on here. One's to raise and lower it. The other one's a light for if you're docking your truck up at night to see the hitch. You can use that right there. You have your two propane tanks here. This just lifts off to access the tanks. They're just the same as your grill, just the propane tanks you'd use with your grill at your house. Behind this is the battery box. Hopefully you don't need to get in there for anything, but if you ever need to access the battery, that's where it's going to be located. There's a large storage area right here. It's a pass-through. It goes through all the way to the other side. So where you're finding some of your gear, your water hose, your sewer hose, all that kind of stuff goes right in here. You can actually put some camping gear in there as well. Every corner has a stabilizer jack. They're located right here. There's a little hand crank in this compartment. You just crank them down. They are to stabilize the RV. They're not levelers or anything. They just make it more stable so when you're walking inside it doesn't wobble or anything. You do have a large awning here. Just remember, any wind, rain, anything like that, you want to close this guy up. If you're going hiking for the day or something, make sure you close it. You don't want to come back to a ripped off awning. They are very expensive to replace. They cost about $1,900 to repair and replace. So just be careful. If you break one arm or both arms or something like that, it comes in a kit. It's still $1,900 for us to swap it out for you. Right here is your door access. When you're traveling, we recommend you have this closed over the door so the door doesn't pop open at you. But when you're going to use the stairs, you're going to lift this up, you twist it around, and it drops back down into place. You'll open this guy up just like this, and you have your stairs. To operate these, you just pull the lever here, and this is going to fold down to the ground. Each leg is independently adjustable. You would just push this little lever in, and then you can raise and lower each leg independently. That way, if you're camped on some not level ground, you can at least level your stairs to make sure that they are flat on the ground. Also, one other thing we want to go over is anytime you're operating this, make sure this door is completely open out of the way. Otherwise, you could scrape the door with the side lever there. Once it sits down, you also want to make sure that this is flush right here. If it is up for some reason like this, you didn't get level or anything, and you go to shut this door, it's not going to completely close. It'll probably actually bend your door or break it. So make sure that is completely level and flush when you're operating the door. Now to close this, all you do, reverse the steps here. You're just going to flip it up just like this. You push the latch in, and it kind of locks into place right there. And then you'll go ahead and close your door. And then once again, when you're traveling, we recommend you cover it just like that. Your exhaust is right here. This can get warm, so just make sure you don't put any gear or anything right here. You don't want kids touching this. Also, you have a couple electrical outlets. Once again, you have another stabilizer jack in the back. Just make sure before you leave your campsite, you double check those. Make sure you get them completely up off the ground. You don't want to drive away and bend all your jacks and have to replace those as well. Right here is the sewer flush, okay? The only time you'll use this is when you're dumping. Also, anytime you put water through here, it's to flush the black water tank. You wanna make sure the black valve is completely open anytime you're running water through there. There's a hitch back here, but this is not for use. You're not gonna hook anything up and tow behind this trailer. If you need access to this, just let us know. Once again, no towing or anything behind this. It's usually for like one of the little carriers where you'd put a cooler or something, one of the little carrier racks. Also, roof access. We don't want anybody up on the roof for any reason. It's just for maintenance. The roof is curved on this, so you don't want to have somebody fall off the roof or anything like that. This is just for maintenance on the solar panels and also on the air conditioning unit. As we come around here, there's a door here. This is just an emergency exit. It's not for getting in and out of the RV or anything. This is just for your emergencies if something were to go and you need to get out. Also, you have your dumps right here. You have a gray and a black handle. As you can see, the gray handle is out right now, and then you have your black handle as well. Anytime you dump, you're gonna hook on the sewer hose. You're gonna pull the black one first. It'll drain all the sewage out. And then we always recommend you pull the gray water next, and it'll kind of flush out the hose. Also, as we were talking about before, anytime you're running water through the black tank here, make sure this is open just like it is now when you're dumping and cleaning the tank, okay? Right here's your power connect. This just flips up. You're gonna plug in here with the power cord, and then that'll plug in at the RV park or into a generator if you're using a generator. Also, just one piece of a pro tip, let's say, anytime, say you plug in and you don't have power in here, always double check the power pedestal at the park. A lot of times they'll flip the breakers off or something at the pedestal. 99% of the time, if you plug in and you don't have power, it's something to do with the pedestal at the park. So just double check that and make sure everything's connected properly and working there. You do have a little outside shower here in case you needed it. It's good for hosing off the sandy feet of the beach and stuff like that. This guy right here is your freshwater fill to fill your freshwater tank. You would just unscrew the cap, you're gonna put your garden hose in there and you're gonna fill it up. You're gonna monitor the gauge inside and it'll show you kind of the tank levels on the fresh water. If for some reason you kept it filling and water starts squirting out, go ahead and close it. It will just drain out a little bit. Sometimes you'll see water underneath the trailer for a little while because it does have a pressure relief valve. It will relieve some pressure. Also, we recommend if you do have water flowing out of there, you pull the freshwater tank dump. Just pull it, count to 5, and then close it. That way, you're not above the tank level, so you don't want water dripping inside. One other thing we want to go over with plumbing in the RVs, okay, or in this trailer. It is not like your house. This is just plastic fittings and all that. So we always recommend anytime you're camping, you just use the water pump inside. A lot of times if you're trying to use the park water, it's overpressurized or not enough pressure. You could hook in here and you can actually blow your lines out and then flood the RV. The water pump is set to the correct pressure. So we just recommend if you're at a park, go ahead and fill it up here, turn on the pump when you're using the water, and then always turn it off when you're not using water. If you did for some reason plug into the park water and you're leaving for the day, always turn off the park water. If you're going to bed, turn off the park water. You're gonna have to get out of the RV, come in, come out, turn it off. Basically every time you're using water, you're gonna have to come out, turn it on, and then turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. That's why we always just recommend just use the pump. It's easier and there's a lot less chance of a line blowing out and flooding the RV or anything like that. Right here is the other side of that storage. Also, this is an exhaust vent here. This also can get warm, so just make sure don't lean gear against the RV. You shouldn't lean gear against the RV anyways. But and then right here is a light switch. This is for your front lights for the front cap. If you're doing something at night in front or you just want to look cool at night at your campground, you just turn this on. It'll light up the front of the RV. And then lastly, this is your last stabilizer jack. Once again, before leaving your campsite, double check and make sure those are all up out of the way. So when you drive off, you don't rip them off or bend them or anything. All right, we're gonna go inside and show you how to use the inside. Let's go take a look. All right, guys, we're gonna go over the interior of this unit and show you how to use it. First of all, this right up here is the main control panel, runs about everything in the RV. You have all your tank level gauges here. You have your interior lighting, your step lighting, your awning lighting, your Bluetooth connection here. You have a water pump, that's to turn on the water. You have two water heaters, an electric and a gas. The one with the flame is the gas. That's the one we always recommend you use. And then you don't need to worry about tank heaters. So we're in Arizona, it doesn't freeze or anything. And then you have your awning in and out button there. So this right here, also your battery levels are right here. That kind of helps you gauge your battery levels and your tank levels. Just remember these tank levels are not 100% accurate. Oftentimes they'll say something's full when it's actually empty, or vice versa. It's empty and it might say full. So just monitor your water usage and all that kind of stuff. The freshwater one's usually pretty good, pretty accurate. It's usually the black and gray water that sometimes misread a little bit. Hopefully you never need to use it, but there's a GFCI outlet here. Say something's not working, just double check your GFCI outlet there. It's got a great bedroom area, front bed. It's really nice. There's a TV up here in front. Just make sure we leave the remote control over here for you. Just make sure that you return it. We actually drop it right in behind the TV here. So if you do need that, that's where you're gonna find it. As we come around here, this table actually drops down into a bed. So all you do is you're gonna lift the table off the legs, remove the legs, and then this table sits right here on these bump stops. And then you can use the rear cushions over the tabletop to create another sleeping area, which is really nice. When you come in, we also have your burner here. Just remember, this is not a glass cooktop surface. If you're going to use the burners, you're going to actually open it all the way up. This now becomes your backsplash for cooking. So just be aware of that. And then you have a nice little oven here. If you are going to use the oven, please ask us prior to your departure on how to start that. We don't go over those instructions in this video. Most people don't use the ovens, and sometimes they're very difficult to cook in. So just be aware, these ones right here are for the top burners. We recommend you bring a lighter or a clicker to light those burners. And then obviously close this after you're done. Let it cool down and then close it. For the refrigerator, there is an on-off switch right here. This is going to turn on the fridge. The fridge is electric, so you would need to turn that on prior to using the fridge and freezer. And then I'm going to slip by you here. There is a temperature gauge or controller inside the fridge, and you just want to, we usually recommend you run that on number 7. And then right on the wall to the right is your heater and air conditioning control. To cycle through these, you're going to push the straight button here. It's going to cycle through fan, air conditioner high, heat, and off. So right now it's in the off position. You would just cycle through, and then the up and down is to change the temperature. As we go through, you do have a nice little bunk bed area here. Just be careful with what you're doing with the stairs. You don't want those left around while you're driving. They could flop out or something, or damage something. And then you do have your lights in these. In the middle of the light is actually a button. So if you want to turn those lights on and off, you would just push the button in and out, and it'll activate the light. And then as we go into the bathroom, just remember this has a foot flush pedal. We recommend if you do half a flush, it's 2-stage flushing. So half down will fill the bowl with some water. So before you use the restroom, you want to make sure you have a little bit of water in there. And then as you push the foot valve all the way down to the ground, it will go ahead and completely flush it. So we do recommend you leave a little bit of water in there, obviously, when you're doing your business. And then you have your shower in here. There's even a little sink area if you needed to. So that's kind of nice. It's even got a little bathtub in there. All right, guys. This is a awesome little camper. You guys are gonna love it. It's one of our favorites. It's the most asked for floor plan. So you guys are gonna love it. We're excited to see you, and we'll see you soon.